The music world mourned on September 12, 2023. Ilerioluwa Oladimeji Promise Aloba, the artist known as Mohbad, was murdered at 27 years old. His vibrant music, full of life and promise, was silenced. But the melody of his life would not fade quietly. It ended with a discordant note, a whisper of foul play. Mohbad's death was shrouded in mystery, a tragic story demanding to be told. This is the story of a rising star, extinguished too soon, and the desperate search for answers in a world of shadows and silence. The news spread like wildfire, igniting shock and disbelief among fans worldwide. How could a young, talented artist be gone so soon? The circumstances surrounding his death were murky, shrouded in conflicting accounts and unanswered questions. As days turned into weeks, one thing became clear. Mohbad's death was no ordinary tragedy. It was a tangled web of suspicion, pointing towards a darker truth waiting to be unearthed. In the hours leading up to his untimely demise, Mohbad's Instagram became a digital cry for help. His posts, laced with fear and urgency, painted a chilling picture. They spoke of threats, of a life in danger. Around 8 p.m. on September 11, 2023, Wunmi Mohbad's wife began posting series of Instagram stories announcing Mohbad's death. She detailed how he was bullied and the birth of a son alleged to be Mohbad's only heir. Her final post, a chilling message sent early hours of September 12, 2023, confirmed the worst. Mohbad was gone. The timeline of Mohbad's final hours is a jumbled puzzle. There are gaps, missing pieces, and conflicting accounts. But one thing is certain, Mohbad was not well. He was receiving treatment from an unlicensed nurse. He was in fear for his life. And he was desperately trying to get help. His Instagram posts, a digital trail of fear and despair, became a haunting record of his final moments. Those who knew him best now cling to these fragmented memories, desperate to piece together the truth behind his untimely demise. The Orchid Estate, Lekki residence, became a focal point in the investigation. It was here, within the walls of this upscale community, that Mohbad spent his final hours. A list of individuals present at the residence in the 72 hours before his death emerged. Each name on that list carried its own weight, its own potential connection to the tragedy. Among them were Mohbad's close circle, his partner, Oma Wunmi, his personal assistant and uncle, Darosha DJ Bami, his brother, Adura, his friends Adawest and JJ. They were his confidants, the people he trusted most. But the list also included others, figures with more complicated relationships to the rising star. The last show organizers Sosubarekon and Pascal. Friends and associates were present in those crucial hours. Naira Marley, a controversial figure in the music industry, had a history of public feuds with Mohbad. Their relationship was complex, a mix of mentorship and animosity. The investigation zeroed in on these individuals, scrutinizing their every move, every word, for any clue that could unravel the truth behind Mohbad's death. The initial autopsy, conducted at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital in September 2023, only deepened the mystery. It was inconclusive. The report cited body decomposition as a significant obstacle in determining the cause of death. The news sent shockwaves through the public. How could a young man in seemingly good health die with no clear explanation? The lack of answers fueled speculation, casting a long shadow over the investigation. A toxicology test, purportedly conducted by NMS Laboratory, a renowned laboratory in the United States, offered a glimmer of hope. However, this lead soon turned cold when the laboratory denied any involvement in the case. The search for answers hit a brick wall. A second autopsy, ordered by the court and conducted in an European laboratory, offered a glimmer of hope, but ultimately provided little clarity. The pathologist, while unable to pinpoint the exact cause of death due to decomposition, revealed Mohbad's use of a specific drug prior to his death. But was it the cause? The question lingered, unanswered, adding another layer of complexity to an already convoluted case. A crisis of faith, public distrust in the pursuit of justice. As weeks turned into months, the investigation seemed to be losing momentum. Witnesses were summoned but failed to appear in court. Crucial evidence, like the alleged fight between Mohbad and another individual named Prime Boy, remained shrouded in ambiguity. The public watched, their initial shock giving way to frustration and anger. The slow pace of the investigation, the lack of transparency, and the whispers of interference fueled a growing distrust in the authorities' ability to deliver justice. Social media became a platform for outrage and grief. #Justice for Mohbad echoed across platforms, a digital testament to the public's anger and frustration. Protests erupted, demanding answers, accountability, and a thorough, unbiased investigation. The public's faith in the system was shaken. They had heard it all before, promises of justice followed by silence and inaction. The fear was that Mohbad's case, like so many others, would become just another statistic, another unsolved mystery swept under the rug of indifference. Whispers of interference, power, influence, and obstruction of justice. Adding fuel to the fire were allegations of interference by powerful individuals. Whispers of high-ranking government officials and influential figures using their power to hinder the investigation began to circulate. A popular musician, David, donated 2 million naira for burial, which raised more suspicion and questions. Mohbad, in a petition filed in June 2023, had named Oba Elegushi, a prominent traditional ruler, in a case that eerily foreshadowed the circumstances of his death. The petition, alleging threats and intimidation, was a chilling reminder of the forces Mohbad had been up against. Further deepening the suspicion were reports of manipulated evidence. 2 videos, crucial to understanding the events leading to Mohbad's death, were allegedly edited. The public questioned everything. Was this incompetence or a deliberate attempt to mislead the investigation? The line between negligence and obstruction of justice blurred. The more the authorities remained silent, the louder the whispers of a cover-up grew. The public's trust, already hanging by a thread, continued to unravel. Unanswered questions, the enigma of Mohbad's untimely death. As 2 years anniversary of Mohbad's death approaches, a shroud of uncertainty still hangs over the case. The central question remains, what truly happened to Mohbad? Was it a tragic medical emergency, as some claim, or was there a more sinister force at play? The inconclusive autopsies, the conflicting witness testimonies, and the whispers of foul play only deepen the mystery. The unanswered questions are endless. What were the specific threats Mohbad alluded to in his Instagram posts? What really transpired at the Orchid Estate residence in the hours leading up to his death? Why did some witnesses fail to appear in court? And perhaps most importantly, who, if anyone, had a motive to silence the rising star? These questions continue to haunt Mohbad's family, friends, and fans, a constant reminder of a life tragically cut short and a truth still shrouded in darkness. Justice for some, the disproportionate impact on the vulnerable. Mohbad's case resonated deeply with the Nigerian public, highlighting a painful truth. Justice, too often, felt like a privilege reserved for a select few. The case became a symbol of the systemic inequality that plagued the nation. When young people, particularly those from disadvantaged backgrounds, died under questionable circumstances, their cases were often met with apathy and inaction. The wealthy and powerful, it seemed, operated under a different set of rules. The public questioned if Mohbad, had he come from a more affluent background, would his case be treated with the same lack of urgency? Would there be such a deafening silence from those in power? The disparity was glaring, a stark reminder of the deep-rooted inequalities that permeated society. Mohbad's case became a rallying cry, a demand for equal justice under the law, regardless of social standing or economic background. A call for transparency, seeking justice for Mohbad. 18 months on, the fight for justice for Mohbad continues. His family, friends, and millions of fans around the world refuse to let his memory fade. They demand answers, accountability, and an end to the culture of silence and impunity that allows such tragedies to occur. The call for justice is a call for a complete and transparent investigation, free from external influence and manipulation. It is a call for those in power to be held accountable for their actions or inactions, and for a system that values the lives of all its citizens equally. The pursuit of justice for Mohbad is about more than just one man's tragic death. It is about demanding a fairer, more equitable society where every life is valued and every death is thoroughly investigated. It is about ensuring that no family has to endure the pain of unanswered questions and the agonizing wait for justice.